Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Friday to you. Friday, of course, means that CME is going to be closing its weekly candle, and that's what you can see right now in front of your eyes. Thanks for joining me for another one of my videos. Hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please like and subscribe. Okay, so I just got a Bollinger Bands and then a MACD on here. Bollinger Band is famous for many reasons, but John Bollinger came up with it in a moment of genius in the 80s, and it demonstrates both trend and volatility. So there are many indicators that do that, and I really like the MACD because, for me personally, that demonstrates trend really well. So yeah, I like the combination of the two. And you can see that the volatility expansion on the weekly time frame is kind of continuing. Although this week, quite clearly, you can see from this what's turning into a bit of a pin bar candle, had some significant sell-off down to this on CME 92, so low 90s, and it's all been brought back up to where the price is at the moment, which is in the high 90s. I don't think there's anything particularly surprising there, and I did have a feeling it wasn't going to go on to a new all-time high with what was left of November, i.e. this week. So I think Bitcoin's setting itself up for a bullish December. Whether or not that happens, in the first week or so, only time will tell. So yeah, that is the weekly on CME, and it's going to close in just no, it's already closed. Wow, I must be doing my video a bit late. So it's already closed. So it closed at 98,365, and you can see that's already got a bit of a premium over where the perpetual exchanges are. All right, dropping down to excuse me, I've still got a silly cough. Dropping down to the daily time frame, and I am going to slip on a cheeky RSI as well. Well, I'm going to try. Solve that. Just get my asset assessment set up on, and you can see that the RSI, it has got dwindling momentum, in my opinion. And even though Bitcoin, so this is declining volatility, excuse me, on a daily time frame, but Bitcoin is still above the midpoint. So and the midpoint is coming in basically at 92.5. So as long as Bitcoin's closing dailies above there, then if volatility expansion occurs, and you can see how narrow the Bollinger Bands are here, so if it then, or when it occurs, if the price is above the midpoint, and that's currently at 92.5, then the volatile move that follows will likely to be to the upside. But what could be interesting about that volatile move, if indeed it does occur in that direction, the RSI needs to really get back above these two reads, because if it doesn't, then there'll be kind of like three, or a sequence of, well, no, one, two. There'll be a sequence of two RSI bearish divergence readings. So, that's significant and probably not to be ignored. Clearly, for divergence to play out, price has to pull back. And if price doesn't pull back, well, there you go. The divergence didn't play out. So it doesn't always, but that's worth a thought. Mentioned it on this daily time frame. You can see that the MACD has been cooling off really last week, in fact. And it will continue falling, although obviously the trend is to the upside, but it will continue to ebb. Yeah, I think out of the ebb and flow, it will continue to ebb as long as Bitcoin is closing daily candles below 98.8, which is, about $1,000 below at the moment, with 3 hours to go for this daily closure. There is nothing bearish about this setup, having said all that. And unless you're doing some sort of super low time frame scalping, and even then, that is a range play, there's nothing bearish about this price action. Okay, so that's the daily. So 4 hours is kind of useful for over the weekend. So you can see the RSI is building momentum. I'm going to get rid. Excuse me. I'm going to get rid. Don't really want to comment on it anymore. Nicely, the MACD has crossed back above the zero line, and indeed it did it around about midnight midnight last night or midnight this morning, because of course they're kind of the same thing. And so yeah, 4 hour momentum is now back to the upside and it's green. So you've got to be looking for more 4 hour upside at this point. The waning point is 4 hour closures back below 96,700, which is about $1,000 away from at the moment. Well, what does that? So putting it all together, I think it's going to be a sideways weekend. That doesn't mean it will be. It just gives the price action gives me that feeling. And who knows? Probably won't oscillate between this low at 90 and 100. I think a $10,000 range is a little bit naive. It's probably the best word for that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's more like a $5,000 range. So this is, I guess, worst case scenario for the weekend. Maybe a range somewhere between 95 and say 99. Basically the top 90s in price. What I'd like to see again is Bitcoin living above the midpoint of Bollinger Band. You can see there is 4 hour volatility expansion, but it's not the most impulsive of moves at the moment. However, as long as Bitcoin can remain above 95 and change, then should a more volatile move with more impulsive price action occur on a 4 hour time frame, then indeed it will be to the upside. So yeah, there you go. And there's 3 hours left on this candle, so we'll see what happens. I think I'll leave you alone now for the rest of the weekend. And please join me on Monday, where we'll see where the perpetual exchange is closed relative to where CME closed, which, as a reminder, was 98, just shy of 98 and a half. So still not breaking the six-figure Bitcoin. Probably will in December. All right, take care and have a nice weekend. See you on Monday.